Guys, how's it going? It's your boy, Big Blue Drew 97 here, coming at you with another manga review for My Hero Academia, manga chapter 277, titled Who? Well, it's My Hero Academia, so who else could it be? Oh, wow, that was a horrible joke. But hey guys, today we're going to be doing a manga review for My Hero Academia. Hopefully you will enjoy this video. Before I get right into the manga review itself, I'd like for you to like this video, give it a comment, subscribe. If this is something type of content that you're interested in, I want to really grow this channel. And with that little plug out the way, let's get started. We start off this chapter, weirdly enough, with a callback to another incident when it came to the villains, wrecking shit, where we get Deku and Shigaraki clashing, and it's very reminiscent of the incident in Camino Ward between All Might and All for One, where they first clashed. So that appears to be what this first panel is called back into, and we also get more explanation for why Deku is jumping in and how it's actually really reasonable for why he's jumping in at this moment, because you have Eraser and Gran Torino coming in. It's like, what are you doing, kid? Why are you here? And he basically explains in his mind as well as out loud how this is the worst case scenario, where since Shigaraki's quirks are erased, that means that we can fight too, which makes sense because he doesn't have to worry about Shigaraki stealing his quirk, as well as having to worry about Shigaraki decaying him. And he also explains that, yeah, and because all the other heroes aren't here, there's no one really else there to help them. So that means that at this moment, Shigaraki is going to be fighting Bakugo, Endeavor, Deku, Gran Torino, Eraserhead, and Rocklock, which I guess thematically it makes sense since he was the one that didn't want Deku and the children to get involved with the 8 Precepts arc, and this is on another level beyond that, so I guess it makes sense for him to be here. But then Deku explains like what the worst case scenario actually is, and it's that he will lose his teacher. And we get kind of like flashbacks to reminiscing about how Eraserhead as Aizawa just means a whole lot to Deku and the other students, and how that he pushed Deku and Bakugo to become the heroes that they are wanting to become and the heroes that they really are right now, and how they say, and how Bakugo and Deku are like, we cannot lose him. And they're probably also going from the idea of how Eraser and his quirk is just Eraserhead and his quirk is just so versatile and so important that worst case scenario isn't that Deku loses his quirk, but that Eraserhead either dies or he loses his quirk. So that's why they're here, and also ties in the fact that, oh, also he's our sensei and we just don't want our sensei to die. He's our teacher. Who really wants their teachers to die? I knew a whole lot of people in high school and middle school and elementary school that probably wish their teachers would die, but this is the world of manga and anime. You never want your senseis to die in anime, even though the likelihood that they will die because it's anime and manga is very high, but you don't want them to die though. So we get the resolve from Deku and Bakugo to fight for their sensei's behalf, and as Bakugo, he isn't as eloquent in his phrasing, but he's like, we gotta be rational, AP Machine Gun! So he uses his new superhero move, AP Machine Gun, to attack Shigaraki, and at this moment, Shigaraki just brings on the petty. He's like, aww, these are some cute fireworks, as he's approaching Bakugo and tells Bakugo, like, I'm no longer interested in you. And something of note is Deku is holding back Shigaraki with Black Whip. And if you remember how strong Black Whip is, let me explain it to you a little bit. Let me show you how strong Black Whip is. Remember the first time we saw it, how it attacked multiple people at once and literally held up like iron pipes? Yeah, that's really strong for Black Whip. Also, he held up a bus filled with people when he was interning with Endeavor. The fact that Shigaraki is blowing through Black Whip with ease and is pulling Deku back just shows how strong Shigaraki is, to the point where it's like, oh, I don't even care. Like, wait, I'm being held back? Oh well, let me just insult this kid even more. Which, Bakugo's gonna get his just desserts for just Shigaraki just calling him out and just being petty. And you know what? Shigaraki gets like what he deserves, because Endeavor just comes in with a flying body press to him and sends Shigaraki flying. So yeah, Shigaraki, I think you should stop like gloating as much and being as petty as you are. I love you being petty, but like, you got hit by Endeavor. That shouldn't have occurred. That wouldn't have happened if you weren't petty. But from here, Endeavor basically explains the situation, as well as getting the lowdown on like whether or not these are the only kids here. He asks Deku and Bakugo if Shoto's with them. They obviously say no, implying that one of two things: either Shoto is not going to join in the fight, or he's going to join the fight extremely late, like when Eraserhead is about to either get killed, or even when Shigaraki is going for Deku, Shoto may come in. But we also get more explanation of the situation, or at least Bakugo and Deku get a better understanding of what is happening. Endeavor basically says like, yeah, Shigaraki is no longer a human. His power and his sturdiness is equivalent to All Might. And Deku's just like, as All Might? And then we also have Eraser in the background, and it's like, yeah, just make sure he keep him away from me. Like, as long as like my eyes are open, like his quirk will be erased. And luckily for us, I can keep my eyes open for a long time, so we good. And from there, Endeavor basically finishes like the explanation of like, well, I don't know why we're here, but we're going to talk about why you're here later on. He's like, I don't care why you're here, but let's save that why for later. He's like, after all of this is over, when I'm alive and healthy and have my quirk, we're going to talk about why the heck you're here. But before that, we're here to support Eraser. Bakugo, cover Deku. And while Endeavor says this, we get this moment where we get like what Shigaraki's plan is going forward now. He's like, okay, I can't really fight all of these heroes off at once, so I'm just gonna scoop up Deku and dip. So his plan now is not necessarily to take One for All at this moment, but he's gonna take Deku away and then eventually take All for One away from him. So potentially Deku could get kidnapped in the same vein that Bakugo got kidnapped the first time. And I say first time as if he's going to be kidnapped again, but like it's kind of like relates to that, especially with like the scene between Deku and Shigaraki in reference to Kamino incident with All Might and All for One, and how he also refers to Bakugo as like, I'm no longer interested in you, how he's interested in Deku. It could potentially end with Deku being kidnapped, but after that little explanation, we get a little bit of like, it's a weird dialogue between Shigaraki and himself, where Shigaraki is like, all One for All, but in his mind he also hears the thought of acquire One for All. And then we get this distorted speech bubble that says, you will be mine, little brother. And the reason why it's distorted, and then later on we see both Deku and Shigaraki are like questioning it. We see the question mark as they're like saying it. It's like, wait, what was that? And this is explained literally on the next few pages. But something I want to bring attention to is how Shigaraki is being attacked by Endeavor using Hell Spider, and it's just dodging through him with ease like it's nothing. But from here, we get the explanation of like what that distorted voice bubble is. Sort of. We get Shigaraki, and he's basically like, it's like, little brother, what was that? And then he comes to the conclusion like, oh, I know what that was. Master, is that you? Man, your will is strong. But two things. One, this is my body. And two, this is my power. And he's like, you don't get to start whispering in my head anymore. So we get a sort of explanation that we know for a fact that All for One is speaking to Shigaraki. But the problem is we do not know if it's All for One, the vestige inside of the quirk, because from what we're seeing now, All for One as a vestige is inside the quirk All for One. But we still don't know if maybe All for One is communicating with Shigaraki from Tartarus, but I'm going to go under the understanding that it is the quirk itself and the vestige inside of that quirk, which would be All for One, the former user. we get Shigaraki as he basically reflects on Kamino, where he's like, "Ah, master, I remember when you were considered the Lord of Evil, but you were taken out by a single man. Now don't get me wrong, like, I'm glad that you raised me, but I don't want to be like you. I want to be greater than you. So shut the hell up. I control myself." So we get Shigaraki's resolve, and from what it appears in these panels is that All For One was trying to take over Shigaraki, but Shigaraki just said, "Yo, master, I love you, I respect you, I appreciate you, but get the fuck out of my head." So apparently there's not going to be a possession of Shigaraki's body. Everything that's going to probably go on from this point on is not going to be influenced by All For One. It's not going to be influenced by the quirk itself. It's going to be all of Shigaraki's will. Shigaraki has full control over his actions, and whatever he does is not going to be influenced by anyone but himself. So, like I said, this has shown a lot of growth with Shigaraki, not as a character, but also as a villain, and also as his own person. He's coming out as not being the mentee to All For One. He's going to be better than All For One. He's going to be the new Lord of Evil that the world hasn't seen before, and it's going to be by his own will. After we get that explanation of what Shigaraki is and like what he's going to do, Gran Torino just comes in, and he probably gives like a really interesting concept when it comes to heroism, where it's like, the best way to fight off a villain is to attack, or the best way not to die is to attack. And that's a weird concept, but it kind of makes sense, especially if you realize, like, when it comes to heroes, their duty and their job is to make sure to put down the villain without killing them as fast as they can. And like, let's say a hero is trying to kill you, probably the best way to like make sure that you don't die is to put them down as quickly as possible. And when it comes to Gran Torino, as fast as he is, he probably felt like, yo, I'm gonna put you down like extremely fast. And we also get him talking about how, yeah, by the way, stop trampling over Shimura's memories, where Shigaraki's response is, who? So yeah, we get the title drop right here. Yay, title drop. I'm probably gonna do that if we ever get more titles dropped in the chapter. That's probably something I'm gonna do. But this is something also interesting, mainly due to the fact that Shigaraki does not know who Shimura is. Shimura Nana, his grandmother, is. And that's interesting because we know for a fact he knows that his grandmother was a superhero. He knows that. But he probably doesn't know that she was the former user of One For All. Nor does he probably know that his own master killed his grandmother, which kind of ties into like why his father was abusive to him, which led to Shigaraki killing his family. So we as the readers know this is all For One's fault, but Shigaraki himself doesn't. So this brings up a new dynamic, and potentially, from what I'm looking at it right now, this could potentially lead to not necessarily a jailbreak arc, but a revenge arc, because I do believe that eventually Shigaraki is going to learn that Nana Shimura is his grandmother. He will most likely kill All Might, but I think that he may also kill his master, because we do know for a fact that he respects him and appreciates him, but that he wants to be better than him. And like, something that he's probably going to do, he's probably just like, master, the reason why I'm like this is because of you. I appreciate it, because you made me realize my true self. But I'm still gonna have to kill you, because like, you fucked me up a lot. So I think that this may be like establishing that Shigaraki may eventually go after All For One and potentially kill him for everything that he did, and he may learn what happened to his grandmother, and it's like, huh, I'm still gonna be a villain, but now I'm questioning my life a little bit. I'm still gonna be a villain, but I'm gonna question my life a little bit, and I'm probably gonna kill my master. So I think that's what this is establishing. And we also get more of Gran Torino talking about how Shigaraki has made a whole lot of people suffer as Endeavor is coming in to try and finish it off, where Shigaraki is not having it and just gets away from no man. I mean, he jumps to the sky, he's going after Deku, and he's like, ha ha ha, I'm coming for you, Deku, which, I mean, if you're gonna fight off an old man, it's not really that hard. But we get the reveal that you thought that you were going to go after Deku, but he was just the bait, because now I'm about to blow you up. So apparently Bakugo is in the middle of the air, pointing his grenade gauntlet at Shigaraki from the sky and pulls a pin, and he talks about in his head is like, oh, so you're not interested in it anymore, you little bastard, you piece of crap? Well, here you go, as he sends out a giant massive explosion that it doesn't seem to have done a lot of damage to Shigaraki, but it at the very least hindered him to a point that allows for Endeavor to come in and use his Vanishing Fistu, a new move from Endeavor, because obviously the Fire Quirk has a bunch of moves. Just, it appears as if he incinerated Shigaraki. That's not the case, but like, it's a very cool panel, and like, his fist is covering up Shigaraki's body. We don't know what is going on. He could be dead. He's not dead. But he could be dead. He's definitely not dead. But there's a possibility he's not dead. But from there, something else that I wanted to bring up in a little bit more detail is what is said right before Endeavor uses Vanishing Fist and after Bakugo released all the energy in his grenades. So we get a moment where it says, so what if my strength alone is not enough? And from here, it seems to be from the perspective of Bakugo, which would be very important because it shows how much Bakugo has grown once again. Over the past few chapters, we have seen how much Bakugo has grown, because we've seen Bakugo come to realize that, hey, I need to surpass Deku, even though he thought Deku was worthless at the beginning. He's like, hey, I need to be stronger and faster. Hey, I need to rely on people. And at this moment, he's like, I realize that I may not be strong enough to do so, implying that, but I still need help, or I can help others to achieve victory. Because here's the thing. Bakugo's idea of being a hero is always winning and defeating the bad guy. And throughout the story, we have seen Bakugo come to the realization that for him to win, he may not necessarily be able to do it on his own, but he still follows the philosophy of, to be a hero, you must win, even if it means getting help from other heroes. And I think this is what that phrase is establishing more when it comes to Bakugo's growth. And then we have All Might underneath this panel of this phrase, and we have him also saying something as if it's in a flashback, and how he says that the symbol I strove to be, that isn't the path for you to follow. And it doesn't say exactly who he's saying it to. He's probably saying it to Deku, he's probably saying it to Bakugo, or it could just be a general reference to all heroes in general, all of the student heroes, and how the idea of he built up this society to only rely on the symbol of peace, and now that he's no longer the symbol of peace, society is falling and crumbling, and how these new heroes, these new kids to become pro heroes, they need to follow a different path, which most likely is implying that they need to follow a path that doesn't rely on a single hero to keep up society, but to have all heroes equally keep up society, where if like a major pillar falls, there's still other heroes that can support society. And I think that is what All Might is implying from that phrase. So we get the final pages of this chapter, which, let's be honest, is probably the page that like we are all looking forward to the most. We get the panel of Mountain Lady versus Gigantomachia, as the other heroes are telling Mount Lady to hold him off, where she responds with, yeah, I know, he's not going anywhere, as the chapter ends. So here is probably this, I think this page probably ties into what we're going to be seeing next chapter. We're going to be seeing the fight among mountains, Mount Lady versus Gigantomachia, Giant Lady versus Giant Man, huge female genitalia versus huge male genitalia. Actually, we don't know if Gigantomachia has, male genitalia. He's wearing pants, so he's hiding something, but we just don't know. But that's besides the part. That's besides the fact. Most likely what's going to be happening next chapter is, obviously, from what we've seen in the past few chapters, it's going to be the continuation of what we see last, which we're probably going to see Gigantomachia We're gonna most likely see what happened before this moment. How did Giganto Machina gather up all of the villains that are on his back? Because if you look closely, you can see Skeptic, Dobby, possibly Getting, definitely Compress, Toga, as well as Spinner. You can see that they're all on Giganto Machina's back, all most likely heading in the direction of Shigaraki. So we're probably going to get more of like a flashback within the present time of how this happened, how Mount Lady came to confront Giganto Machina, and probably get the continuation of that. But overall, I thought this was a very good chapter. I really did enjoy it a whole lot. Weirdly enough, the internet kind of blew up when it came to the spoilers for this chapter, thinking that Bakugo's hero name was revealed, when in actuality it was just Endeavor using a new move, which I'm coming to realize, Twitter and the spoilers can be very fun. I always try to do my manga reviews officially on Sunday, but I may change that every so often depending on how the translations are. I'm glad that I waited until Sunday to do it because the translations weren't great and just the internet just blew up for nothing. But yeah, overall really good chapter. Just enjoyed more confirmation of not confirming what is going on in Shigaraki's head, but getting the better establishment that Shigaraki is his own villain, and how most likely than not, there's not going to be a possession of Shigaraki's body. Like All For One is not going to possess Shigaraki. Every action that he's going to make now is going to be of his own flourishing as being a villain. I enjoyed Endeavor fighting, like all the action in this arc as well as this chapter was very great. I really did enjoyed it. The pacing was really good as well. Overall, good chapter of My Hero Academia. So, out the way, hopefully you enjoyed this review of My Hero Academia. Hopefully you'll like this video, give it a comment, subscribe to my channel, do all of that cool jazz, and I'll be able to meet you with the next video. Goodbye! Woo!